So there have been all of these crazy, harsh anti-immigrant laws throughout the country. We've seen them happen in Alabama, Georgia, Arizona. And as a result, a lot of farmers in these states have seen their crops rot because all of the undocumented immigrants moved out of state so they wouldn't get arrested. So they're scrambling to find some employees to work on their crops, and they just can't, okay? They can't do it. Americans are unwilling to work on these crops.
I think this story is hilarious.
It is hilarious. I love it. So, as a result, the Kansas Agriculture Secretary, his name is Dale Rodman, and he is also a Republican, is asking the federal government to give farmers a waiver from the federal government so the companies can hire undocumented workers.
Oh, now all of a sudden you're interested in undocumented workers. What happened, Republicans? I thought you didn't like the undocumented. Oh, but now you need somebody to till your farm. Huh, interesting. It's like, yeah. All that demagoguery we did, can I just get a little exemption on that one? Because it turns out we really need them on the farm. Huh, maybe you should have thought of that ahead of time, huh? And, look, Tom Hank, who's a big liberal here that works on the show and stuff, gets so upset every time we do one of these stories and don't mention an incredibly relevant fact, which is that, by the way, they don't need the undocumented workers.
They just don't want to pay Americans the fair amount of money to work on these crops. Like, this is back-breaking labor, okay? Right. And they have been employing these undocumented immigrants for nickels and dimes. I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't want to pay people more money. So,
that's the trick, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, now they'll say, oh, lazy Americans, you bring them in and they don't want to do this job. And we've done stories like that before. Farmers, they're like, all right, great, let's bring Americans in. Americans work on it for like an hour and a half. And they're like, oh, Jesus, Lord mercy, I got to get out of here. And they go back home and play video games. Yes, that's true, right? But the flip side is, believe me, if you raise the wage that you're paying, all of a sudden you'll get plenty of people who are willing to do that job, no matter how hard it is. The problem is you want to pay them terrible wages for that really hard work.
It's really interesting because now Republicans are faced with two of the issues they care most about, right? Labor rights, worker rights, or undocumented immigrants, right? Both issues that they're very passionate about. And for them, it's like, nah, let's keep screwing over the people who work in labor. Let's let the undocumented immigrants come back in.
Yeah, because the undocumented immigrant thing is demagoguery. Yeah. The reality is the Republican Party is not against undocumented immigrants. The voters are. The Republican voters are. And I think a lot of Democratic voters join them in that. Certainly independents do, right? That's an issue that progressives do not win on. It's a rare issue that if you look at the polling, the progressives' position is not necessarily the correct one. Although, if you say pathway to citizenship, which is actually the progressive position, then actually that is, again, a majority, right? But when it comes to the politicians, they get funded by the business leaders. The business leaders, in general, are perfectly aware that they are paying below market wages to the undocumented immigrants. Why do you think we've never had immigration reform? Why do you think, golly gee, we couldn't fix it again. Oh, we fumbled away the solution. Oh, I guess we're going to have to continue with all those undocumented workers. It's because that's what the business leaders want. That's why we have the current situation. That's why the Republicans always stall on it, and golly gee, never find a solution to it.